1955 was a transition period for the Telecaster. Rockabilly was happening, and rock and roll was taking off, man. And this guitar changed a little bit. You can see the finish is a little different than the other one. I was using the 52. The finish is a little bit more opaque. You can't see the grain as good. And the body was lighter. Like more, I think they made it out of alder, some of them now. They were starting to make them lighter. So the tone changed a little bit. And the neck was still maple. And your top hat switch here became, instead of a round switch like on the old tellies, it became a top hat switch, and the knobs changed to barrel knobs. And the pickup, the back pickup, you can tell this one still had the flat pole pieces. 56 and the later 55s were just starting to change to, they had staggered magnets to get better string tone. And also, the serial number, looks like somebody wrote a message here, huh? Must have wanted a song. The serial number is on the back of these now. They started putting them on the back. And great sounding guitar. This particular one is has been in the war. It's a war baby for sure. And I was going to show you some sounds on it as far as some rockabilly feels. And one of my favorite tones is things that Robbie Robertson did on Mystery Train. And he got the thing going like this. Now that, hear that echo? It's an Echoplex. Over here we got an old Echoplex, and that's what they used back then. It ran with a tape in it, a little cartridge tape, and there's no way getting that sound unless you use them. The new digital delay units come close, but they just sound too bright. The Echoplex kind of warms it up because you're using tape. And before I get to that Mystery Train lick, let's talk about the Fender Bassman. The Fender Bassman came out in '51, and originally it came in with one 15-inch speaker. And then they found it was made for bass, but it was flapping too much. By the time they got the bass, the time Leo made a bass for it, it was flapping too much, so they put in 410s. And they got the old blue Jensen Alnicos, real soft, warm speaker that breaks up, yet it gives you a tighter bass tone. And what happened is all the guitar players started using it. And it is now, and was, one of the most sought-after amps, Tweed amps, out there in the world as far as the Fender amps. For its crisp, transparent tone, yet you turn it up and it just sings and cranks. Sweet distortion, 2.6L6 tubes. And during the days when Robbie first joined the, Robbie Robertson that is, the band joined Ronnie Hawkins' band, Ronnie Hawkins and the Hawks, Levon, a good friend and compatriot, told me that they all had, each player had two of these. Two for the guitar, two for the bass, two for the piano, and two for the singer on each side of the band. I mean, you couldn't beat them. And one of my favorite licks that Robbie did was on that Mystery Train, and it goes like this. That's a great lick. Always dug that tune. And that's done by, you take your first finger and your second finger, and you hit this chord. This is in the key of E. And you kind of slightly bend it. It's like a picking thing. When you get to here, you hit an E, you hit an E and a G sharp, and then you go. You pick with the your second finger on the D note, and your first finger you pick here. That's a hammer-on pull-off on the G sharp, climbing down. So slowly that sounds like this. Now the other part of the lick is on the E chord. You hammer on. Let's see if I can do this slow. It's hard to do it slow, but you're using your pick and your fingers. It's done by now. If you did it without playing the chord up here, I can show it on the on my right hand. Like that, if you can see that. It's and that E string's always muted, that low bass E string. Another thing I'd like to leave you before the band comes on and does that is Robertson, also a big influence on me and on Telecaster players in general. His harmonic thing was different than Buchanan's, and although Roy said he showed him the wrong way, Robbie figured out his own way. And one way he did his harmonics was he kind of made it that cardboard tone. He would mute the string a lot and play up here. You wouldn't get that squealing tone like Roy did. It would be more of a funkier kind of harmonic, and that's done by muting the string with your right palm and pinching the string also. And your first finger and your pick is just the tip of the pick is showing.